Calm, intelligent and confident under pressure, that's the consensus when witnessing Dean Huijsen's debut. Thrown straight into the starting 11 against Hilal, it was like an unannounced test. At 19, he showed no nerves, no rookie errors. 9 successful duels, 3 clean tackles, 3 timely clearances, and a 60% long pass accuracy, all under constant pressing, gave Xabi Alonso enough to breathe a sigh of relief. No need to wait long for a centre-back ready for Champions League level. But the second test was even tougher. Against Pachuca, Real Madrid were down to 10 men in the 7th minute, forcing Huijsen to take charge of both defending and building play. His response was astonishing for a 19-year-old, 97 touches, 75 passes with 93% accuracy, 11 entries into the final third. Most impressively, he stayed composed throughout, while Courtois earned the superhero plaudits. Few noticed the calm, determined blond-haired, blue-eyed boy in front of him. Fans affectionately call him the chill guy. In just 1 week, Dean Huijsen faced 2 of the toughest debuts imaginable. A 19-year-old thrown straight into Real Madrid's Club World Cup opener against Hilal, where he quickly became the key to holding a fast-paced opposition at bay. The stats say it all. Huijsen won 9 of 11 duels, made 3 clean tackles, 3 crucial clearances, and maintained a 60% long pass accuracy despite intense pressure. A momentary lapse almost cost Real a goal, an understandable misstep for a newcomer. But overall, his performance silenced concerns about whether he'd take long to adapt to Champions League level. Days later came a fiercer challenge. Real lost a man in the 7th minute against Pachuca. Asensio's red card shredded Alonso's game plan. Most would expect a young defender to panic, play it safe, and boot the ball away. Huijsen did the opposite. In the 10th minute, he boldly threaded a long ball past 3 lines of pressing to release Vinicius. The longer the match went on, the more Huijsen shone. He had the most touches, 97, most passes, 75, 93% passing accuracy, 12 clearances, and 3 perfect tackles. Most valuable of all, 11 passes into the final third, keeping Real's counterattacks alive despite being a man down. While Courtois earned praise for miracle saves, few noticed the silent shield in front, the calm, blue-eyed boy. Against Hilal, he calmly cut high balls. Against Pachuca, he stood like an unshakable pillar under siege. 2 brutal tests, and Madrid can rest assured they've placed their trust well. The numbers will evolve. Experience will grow. But that innate composure, no one can teach. Huijsen has proven himself under fire. Madridistas now believe he's not just a promising defender, but a future cornerstone. Since Toni Kroos hung up his boots, Real Madrid lost a world-class tempo setter. Xabi Alonso understood this, and never looked for a new Kroos replica. Instead, he split the role into smaller parts, one of which fell to Dean Huijsen. The proof was on the pitch, in the Club World Cup openers. Huijsen didn't just defend, he kept tempo and covered for a weakened midfield. His long passes, deep build-up play, and ability to bypass pressing lines showed he's not just a shield, he's a launch pad. Arda Güler and Joselu agree. Post-match, Güler said, "Dean plays with his head. His feet know exactly what to do under pressure. Real don't need another bulky slide tackler. They need a centre-back who understands rhythm, who can pass through lines, as Alonso once did." Huijsen meets all these criteria, in a way that's eerily calm. When Kroos bid farewell at the Bernabeu, the fear of losing midfield control haunted Madrid. Rumours flew, costly playmakers, short-term loans, all to replace Kroos's rhythm. But Alonso never panicked. He didn't need a literal replacement. Instead, he broke down Kroos's duties and handed part of that control to Huijsen from the backline. Just 2 matches in, and the plan is clear. Look at the stats. Against Hilal, Huijsen completed 3 of 5 long balls, even creating a clear chance, rare for a debutant centre-back. When Real went down to 10 against Pachuca, the midfield was overrun, and control went to the opposition. Huijsen stepped up as the new starting point for attacks. 97 touches. 75 passes at 93% accuracy, 11 entries into the final third, staggering numbers for a defender. Madrid fans now call him the Kroos of defense. After the match, Arda Güler, Huijsen's closest friend since arriving at Valdebebas, said, "Dean's super chill. He's talented, and most importantly, he knows when to keep the ball. Alonso trusts him because he knows when to go long, when to carry and ease pressure. I think he'll be here a long time." Joselu told DAZN Football, "Dean is a key part of the starting 11. He'll win Madridistas over with how smartly he plays. Real aren't reshaping tradition just to pamper a rough gem. They're quietly reinventing the system, encouraging defenders to think like midfielders, moving the ball Alonso style. Football evolves. But the philosophy of building from the back remains. Only those with cold heads and calm hearts can shoulder that burden." Dean Huijsen, by chance or design, is becoming the face of Madrid's homegrown Kroos plan. What people remember about Huijsen isn't diving tackles, but the way he calmly spins out of pressure and threads passes through 3 pressing layers. To Real fans, it's the kind of football they once boasted about with Kroos or Modric, total control, turning risk into opportunity. Huijsen isn't all out like Pepe, nor growling like Ramos. He's chill, like an artist, turning defense into movement and orchestration. Against Pachuca, he wasn't beaten once. Every interception was clean, with no theatrics, but enough to snuff out danger. That's elite defending, making the game look effortless, but staying solid. At 19, mistakes are inevitable. He'll get spun by seasoned strikers. But Dean Huijsen has taken the big stage the way Madridistas love. Calm, unshowy, executing every detail. Some centre-backs are born to throw themselves into every duel like steel blades. Dean Huijsen is not one of them. From just 2 Real Madrid matches, it's clear this is a rare player. Pachuca tried to overwhelm Madrid with pace and power. Most youngsters would clear the ball in panic. Huijsen did the opposite, settled the ball, scanned the pitch, and dribbled to create space for his teammates. From the stands, fans shared a photo of Huijsen blocking a cross, spinning out of pressure and starting a move. One witty caption said, "Watch him thread that pass, who'd believe he's a centre-back?" Some say he's chill even more than Kroos. They call him the Kroos of defense. Others say, "Pair this guy with Rudiger, say no more." Such praise doesn't come out of nowhere. While Real played with 10 men and looked close to collapse, Huijsen turned passive defending into active defending, not just clearing the ball, but launching counters when needed. Huijsen's edge lies in his mindset. Defending is also about control. The stat 0 times beaten a vs Pachuca tells a story. Each intervention not only broke the attack but maintained defensive structure. One fan summed it up. Plays with his head. Watching him feels relaxing. That's Alonso's philosophy in a nutshell. Real don't want a defender who only tackles and shouts. They want someone who stands firm under pressure, controls the tempo, and owns the space. Of course, Huijsen will make mistakes. He'll get fooled by wily strikers now and then. But just like he calmly placed the ball at his feet in Charlotte amid a fiery 90 minutes, Madridistas will remember Dean Huijsen as the silent figure who reminded them that defending doesn't have to be desperate. Sometimes, it can be effortless, as long as you're smart enough to make every tackle and through ball an art form. In a Bernabeu full of stars that run like the wind, sometimes what you need most is a cool head. That's Dean Huijsen, a name that will outlast expectations. Today, Real Madrid have megastars like Bellingham, Vinicius and Mbappe. But behind them, there's a resolute anchor named Dean Huijsen. If you want to understand how Real are rebuilding their possession-based empire under Alonso, just watch Huijsen. Because for this quiet, blonde boy, the stats are just numbers. The confidence he gives, that's the true legacy.